I don't know if this movie needed a remake. What's going on, people? My name is Alex Thorn, and I'm just a rock and roller who in his downtime likes to watch movies while wearing a bandana. And this time, I finally decided to sit down and watch the remake of one of my favorite movies of all time, White Men Can't Jump. I have to be completely honest with you. I dreaded watching this movie. So much so that I prejudged it and said, who in their right mind would think of remaking this movie? Because so much of what White Men Can't Jump was the chemistry between Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes. And this time, we don't have Billy and Sydney. This time, we have Jeremy and Kamal. Here's the thing about the remake versus what I thought, right? The original is so good, it should have never ever been touched. And guess what? It really wasn't. Outside of the general consensus of what that movie is, which is involving basketball and the name White Men Can't Jump, this movie I felt like is a completely different movie. And that's exactly what it needed to be, because it could never compete nor replace the original. So I prejudged it, and thankfully, I was wrong, and we'll talk about that in the end of this review. But let's get it started. Jeremy in this movie is somebody who's a little bit older, going into his 30s, which is considered old in this movie, and he still has hoop dreams. He's had both of his ACLs repaired. He feels pain all the time, but he spends all of his time, similar to Billy Hoyle, playing basketball. Not necessarily out in the streets, but in this gym, right? Because a lot of gyms now have basketball courts. He doesn't pay his dues. He's got this 30-day cleanse drink that he makes himself. He's super into that, but he lives with his girlfriend in his parents' apartment, who moved out and left him that place. So you already know that this guy had the world in the palm of his hands and in some way ruined it by spending too much time just trying to play basketball. We don't really go into his story deeply, other than it's being told throughout the movie. And we do spend a lot of time on their past is Kamal. Opposed to Sydney, who was just a hustler in the street, who's also a hustler in real life with a bunch of jobs. Kamal had his chance to come up and actually be a pro player, but he ruined it himself by having a temper tantrum. Gets the best of us, the testosterone flowing on the court. They were calling him overrated. Somebody got smart in the stands, and he turned around and knocked him one. And that pretty much killed his career. From there going forward, he just turned into your average 9-to-5er. He has a family, and he occasionally still plays basketball. But we don't see any of these two guys really on the street until they come together to hustle some people, because again, like the original, there's similarities. Jeremy pretty much hustles Kamal. And because Kamal does not want to go around being noticed and being a 9-to-5er, I completely understand what he's going through. Has trouble with his job. He gets his income kind of cut up from underneath him, and he has a family. Speaking of that family, in the original White Men Can't Jump, there was a heavy emphasis on Billy Hoyle's woman, played by Rosie Perez. In this movie, Jeremy, who takes the place of Billy, he has a woman. She's a ballet dancer. She's got dreams as well. She actually gets to achieve those dreams as this movie moves on. She feels the same way about him that secretly Rosie Perez's character feels about Billy in the original, but she takes it a step further and actually moves on her dream. She has something going for her, but there's not a heavy emphasis put on her. Where there is more of a heavier emphasis put on, I believe, is Kamal's woman, played by Tiana Taylor. is so damn good. And I might be biased here because I'm a huge fan of Tiana. I think every time she shows up on screen in any movie, she just steals whatever scene she's a part of. She's incredible. But, you know, she's very supportive. Sort of the opposite of Jeremy's woman, who has her own thing going on, already in progress. Kamal's woman is more doing what needs to be done for the family because deep down inside, she knows that her man is capable of more, but she's going to have to pick up some of the slack. Eventually, Kamal and Jeremy, they take on the courts. They hustle some people. I feel like these scenes in this movie are kind of rushed. The character of Kamal, the actor doesn't feel like he really wants to be there. And I understand that this is an ongoing theme throughout the movie, is like, have some passion, do something, say something, play stronger. But when you have somebody who throughout the whole movie, you're being told that they've been a hothead. When you have somebody, a character like that, who went out of his way to, you know, beat somebody down who was talking crap about him. And then throughout the whole movie, you just have this, it's like a lid on top of the bottle, you know, like it, for me, I watched this movie with my son because I'm looking at it through 1991 lenses. He's looking at it through 2023 lenses. And he said he loved the movie. Now I told him, I gotta have you watch the original, dude. I'm not saying I didn't love it, but I went into it expecting more than what I saw. And even when I saw it, I was like, there's a lot that could have been done better. And on the bandana rating system, White Men Can't Jump, the 2023 version, is going to get 2 bandanas out of 5. Now, when I give movies 3 bandanas out of 5, that's usually because I can find myself watching it again and it's perfectly serviceable. This movie, while not being bad, is also not something I want to watch. It's not so good that I want to watch it again. What is good about this movie is the cinematography. And the fact that maybe it's because I have a LG OLED, a C1, and I got to watch it in Dolby Vision, but the locations and the cinematography of this movie, probably one of the best movies I've seen as far as cinematography and locations go. The colors were incredible. I can't tell you how many times I mentioned it while I was watching it. They're like, Jesus Christ, this movie is beautiful. And I'm pretty sure it's because of having an OLED and Dolby Vision. So if you watch this movie, please watch it on a very good, expensive television with good tech, because that's where it shines. Unfortunately, everything else to me is pretty lackluster. The storytelling is predictable, but not told well. The acting is serviceable, but doesn't stand out. To me, the only person I actually bought, and I might be biased, who knows, but the only person I actually bought in this movie was Tiana Taylor's character. I actually felt like she cared about her husband. Everybody else, I just felt like they were playing a role that was on a sheet of paper, and they were blandly and blindly doing so. At the end of the day, if you watch just the trailer of this movie, you've seen the best parts, and you're not going to get anything more other than a beautiful movie if you watch it on the right TV with Dolby Vision. So guys, did you enjoy the 2023 version of White Men Can't Jump? Let me know down below. Let's discuss it. At the end of the day, Thanksgiving just passed, and I'm grateful for each and every one of you. This channel has been a year in the making, and there's more music from my side coming. There's more videos from my side coming. And because of you, I'm more invested in this channel than ever before. Guys, let me know what you want next out of Thorn Theater.